Hello and a very good day everyone. So today we will learn on how we can prepare an interactive visual from this given data. If you look over here, we do have a data which has sports company, the date, the states, area, malls, product, price per unit, quantity sold and total revenue. So basically I want to create an interactive visual, an interactive chart from this given data. So let's get started. So first thing what I do is I press Ctrl A. When you press Ctrl A, it will highlight the entire table. So we can actually try to create a pivot chart or pivot table so that we can actually create an interactive visual. So we can go to insert. We can either click it over here, which is pivot table, or we can also click it over here, pivot chart, so that we can create an interactive visual. So let me click pivot chart over here. So once I click on the chart, pivot chart, you will notice that a box will appear. So what I'll do is I'll press OK. So once I press OK, you will see there is a pivot table and there is a chart over here. So what I'll do is let me just tick. So I have to tick all this area over here. So when I tick the date, you will notice that all the data, all the months will appear in the rows and it will appear as the axis format. And then when I tick the revenue, you will notice that the revenue will pops out and it will calculate the sum of total revenue for each month. So basically, you just say I want to calculate quarter. So what I can do is I press here right click, I go to group and then I press unselect the days, unselect months, select quarter and then I press OK. So once I press OK, right now you will notice that it will appear in a quarterly format. But if just say I want in a weekly format, so I can press here right click and then I go to group and then this box appear. I will unselect the quarter, I will select the days. So in 1 week we have 7 days. So let me just change this to 7 because in 1 week we have 7 days. So what I'll do is I press OK and just like that here we have a weekly data. So now what I want to do is I want to show a monthly data. So I'll press here right click and I press right click, I go to group, unselect the days and select the months, press OK. So right now we have the monthly data. So what I want to do next is I actually want to create an interactive visual. So before I create an e-slicer or any interactive visual, I want to put the products in the filter. So I'll just drag the products, put it at the filter. So now we do have the product over here. And then what I want to do is I want to remove all this field over here because the field is actually interfering the space. So let me right click and press hide all field. So now it looks bigger. The next thing what I can do is I want to remove this legend. So select this chart element. So once I select the chart element, I will unselect the legend. I will unselect the grid line and there you go. And I want to put the data label. So this is the data label. So when I expand, so now we do have the data label. But the problem is, as you can see over here, these numbers are quite big. It is interfering. It's not so presentable. What we can do is, we can select this y-axis or also known the vertical axis. Right click over here, go to format axis. Once we select format axis, this format axis pin will appear and over here we have display unit. So right here, what I do is I select here millions. So once I select millions, so right now it looks in a proper format. But what I want to do is I want to show 2 decimal place. So what I do is I put my cursor over here, right click and then I go to number format. Number format and I choose here accounting and then 2 decimal places and I press OK. So right now you see the data has 2 decimal places. And then what I want to do is I want to create a presentation, an interactive visual. So how to create an interactive visual? Well, this time what I'll do is I will go to pivot chart analyze. So as you can see over here, we have pivot chart analyze. Click it over here and click on insert slicer. And then what I'll do is I will click on the products and I'll press OK. So products over here. So now you just say I click on men's apparel. So now you'll see the data changes dynamically. But what I want to do is I want to change this area over here. So what I'll do is I'll click here and I put here equivalent to B1 and I press enter. So now when I notice when I press women's apparel, it changes. When I sense to change to men's apparel, it changes. Men's athletic, it changes as well. But when I clear the filter, it doesn't look nice because it shows all. So what I want to do is, maybe I want to make something interesting. So what I'll do is, I'll put here overall product, meaning to say, copy this and paste over here. So if all is equivalent to all, then I put here overall products, and then comma. If not, if just say not all, then I select back to B1 and then I press enter. So meaning to say, this data over here, so instead of following B1, what I can do is I can link back to E1, and then if just say I press men's apparel, so there you go, women's apparel, there you go. Or if you want to put a better English, you can just, what you can do is, you can actually go over here, and then after that you put here apostrophe sales of apostrophe N, and then enter. So you see here becomes sales of women's apparel. So when I click here, sales of men's apparel, sales of women athletic footwear, sales of women street footwear. If just say I clear filter, and just like that, it becomes sales of overall product.